So, if you ask any lad on the streets the kind of things that would make up their perfect girl, I imagine they'd say something like, oh, she can hold her own liquor, she can fend off a knife-wielding maniac, and she's happy to get steamy with another girl. Yeah, it sounds like an impossible list, right? Well, not, perhaps, when you meet my guest today. Hello again, I'm Alex Zane and welcome to the guest list, where on this penultimate episode I'm delighted to be hanging out with a truly talented star who also has a spectacular taste in films. Get ready to scream. She's this way. Episode 6, Season 3 of The Guest List brings us an actress, a writer, a dancer and a producer. The star of one of Hollywood's most successful franchises. It's easy to see why she was once voted the third sexiest actress in the history of cinema. With 2 new films in the pipeline, it's fair to say she's still a lady in demand. But luckily, she's found time to join me on The Guest List. Neve Campbell, hello and welcome to The Guest List.
Thank you very much.
May I first of all say that is a lovely blouse you're wearing. So how are you genuinely?
I'm good. I'm very good, thank you.
Because you haven't had to come far today. We're here in the centre of London, and you are London-based now.
I am, yeah.
You live here in the UK.
Yeah, I've been living here for almost 5 years now.
So what was it that brought you to our shores?
My husband is English.
And that's it. Yeah. The food's awful, the transport system sucks.
I hate the place really, but he's great. So, no, he's English. I have my passport already because my dad's from Glasgow, my mother's from Amsterdam, and I've always been inclined to come this side of the water. So I was very happy.
And you like it here,
yeah.
then, I take it? Yeah,
I love it.
Oh,
I
that's
really
good.
Love it, yeah.
Now, I want to ask one question before we continue, because it's a question that I'm dying to ask, and
okay.
I almost fear that if I don't ask it immediately, it will fester.
Okay.
Scream 4.
Yeah.
Scream 4!
Yeah.
So, the rumour mill she has been turning about whether you will be reprising your role as the infamous Sidney Prescott in the 4th instalment of the Scream films, which is slated to produce next year.
Yeah.
Is it true?
It is true. Yes.
Yes,
absolutely. I'm going to do it. We start shooting mid-April in the States, so.
Wow. So, entertain my curiosity, because there was a moment where it looked like you were not too keen to take on the role again.
Yeah, I was apprehensive. I think it was a long time ago that we did them now.
It was 2000 Scream 3.
Yeah, and I think we all kind of swore up and down we wouldn't do another. We wanted to leave it at that because we were lucky to have made a good trilogy. But now we're kind of at a place where it might be a kick, you know. Courtney's going back, David's going back, it's going to be Wes Craven again, Kevin Williamson is writing. I mean, I'm hoping it'll be Wes, I'm pretty sure it will be. And I think, yeah, it'll be like going back to summer camp. Could be fun.
I imagine all of this is very top secret. You can't tell.
No.
Even by
the last one, most of the cast didn't even get the script. They didn't get the last 20 pages of script until we actually shot it.
Really?
I did, yeah. They're very secretive. They have to be, though, because the internet these days, and, you know, people find some pages or they get a script, and that would ruin it for everybody, so. Well, I couldn't even tell you what's going to happen, really. So I've got some concepts, but, yeah.
I'm very excited.
Good.
Well, we're going to talk more about some of your films as we take a look at the 4 movies that you very kindly picked for us today. Now, these are 4 films that you love, that you think other people's lives may well be enhanced by watching them. So, if we could start with a film from 1985, directed by the late John Hughes, and that is The Breakfast Club.
It is now 7:06. You have exactly 8 hours and 54 minutes to think about why you are here.
I mean, we're all pretty bizarre. Some of us are just better at hiding it, that's all.
John Hughes has given us some of the greatest feel-good movies ever. I mean, the 80s was really his decade.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it about The Breakfast Club in particular that you like?
It was cool, it was hip, it was fun, it was light in some ways, but also really meaningful. And I think what I've found when you look at John's films, they were very much about heart, you know, and about characters and character study. And as much as you say, oh, it's a film about, you know, a bunch of teenagers together at detention, it's a whole lot more than that.
It's like the godfather of the American high school clique system, because you've got the jock, the geek, the outcast, the princess. Did you ever see yourself as one of those? Did you fit into one of those cliques?
No, I didn't really have a normal school situation because I was at a school called the National Ballet School of Canada. So I think I wanted to be one of those. Yeah. I think I would have loved to have been in a normal high school or that American high school situation. You know, it looks really glamorous in some way or fun in some way. And I think I had a yearning to be a part of that as well. I don't know which. I probably would have related to Allie Sheedy, her character. I think all of us feel like a bit of an outcast at some point, right? So I think I probably had a bit of that. Yeah. She was cool, too.
It's interesting that you say that, because, yeah, I think probably when you're in there, it's not as much fun.
Yeah.
But in the Hollywoodized version of an American high school, you go, oh, my God. Yeah. You know, you've got the lockers down the side of the corridors. Yeah. I yearned for that when I was
lockers,
in school.
Right?
Exactly, yeah.
I didn't have that either. I really wanted one. Yeah, you have your whole personality in there.
I wanted to be able to open a door and see, you know, pictures of, you know, women in states of undress and just go, look, they will always remain unattainable to me.
As you do.
As you do. Actually, I was into tabletop wargaming at school, so I just have pictures of dice, 20-sided dice.
Nice, yeah.
That was more me.
Interesting.
Do you have a favourite scene?
I think the scene where they all get together, and I think it was improv, when they finally reveal what their issues are.
Do you guys know what I did to get in here? I taped Larry Lester's buns together.
That was you?
Yeah, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Well, they know how hairy he is, right? Well, when they pulled the tape off, most of his hair came off and some skin, too.
Oh, my God.
And the bizarre thing is that I did it for my old man. I tortured this poor kid because I wanted him to think that I was cool.
The Breakfast Club, iconic, genre-defining movie of the 80s.
Yeah.
Scream, iconic, genre-defining movie of the 90s. When you first got the script, did you read it and go, Blumeneck, this is something that's going to revolutionise the slasher genre?
I really didn't. It was my first feature, really. I'd done a few in Canada. I'd done sort of the fourth girl in the craft. But it was my first lead in a feature film, so I didn't have a whole lot of pick. I was just lucky. You know, I knew it was a very good script. I knew it moved. It's when you open a script and you can't put it down, you have to get to the end. You know it's good, and it definitely was one of those.
To go back to The Breakfast Club, another iconic moment, which is Matt Groening took Eat My Shorts.
Eat My Shorts.
And gave it to Bart Simpson, and now I think if you ask
really?
someone... Yeah. It is a bit of an homage to The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
So you were in The Simpsons.
I know.
That's got to be up there with
really
kind of
up there
on your things to achieve in life. I'm ticking up.
Yeah.
The Simpsons.
Nah.
How was it?
That was special. It was great. I mean, it was really nice to be asked. I was here in London though, so I didn't get to actually be at the read through, which I would have loved to have done because I would have loved to have heard the actors play those characters in person.
And one of my favourite characters in The Breakfast Club, Judd Nelson's character.
Yeah.
Apparently he was method.
I heard a little bit.
In terms where people just stay in the zone.
Yeah.
And I think he actually got into trouble because his character bullies Molly Ringwald's character.
Don't you ever compare yourself to me, okay?
He sort of kept in character himself, was quite nasty to her.
Oh, wow.
Offset. Any horror stories? Have you ever met anyone who's that intense? You just go, gosh, they're terrifying.
Yeah. Do I want to name names? Not really. Yeah, actually, I worked with someone fairly recently who was really intense. But he's a really nice guy, so I think I can say his name. But Tim Roth. Super nice. But definitely got into character on set. And he wasn't playing the nicest character. So that was a little rough. But good guy.
Next movie time. This is the second breakfast-titled movie you've picked for us. And it is, of course, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah.
Moon River, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday.
Audrey Hepburn, wow.
Stunning, right?
An amazing woman.
Yeah.
What is it about her as an actress that made her... I mean, because she was an icon.
I mean, I think at that time what she brought was a certain classiness that maybe other actresses at the time weren't going with. I think people were sexing things up at that time, and when she came along, she was refreshing in a way. And odd, too. I mean, what was that accent?
I'll tell you one thing, Fred, darling. I'd marry you for your money in a minute. Would you marry me for my money?
In a minute.
So I guess it's pretty lucky neither of us is rich, huh?
It's not American, it's not English, it's a little bit Dutch, because she's got some Dutch in there. And maybe it confused people a bit.
Was
maybe
that a little Dutch accent you were doing?
No, oh no.
Were you trying?
No, although my mum's Dutch.
Oh, okay, so you could do one in it and people wouldn't go, that's offensive.
Yeah, I could swear in Dutch. I don't know if I could actually do the accent, but I'm not going to. Though.
I'd love to hear it.
No, really, no.
I can't imagine Dutch ever sounding offensive because it's all like,
oh, it really can. It really can. Yeah, when my mum is running around the house swearing, it can sound very offensive. Yeah.
Because I just, obviously with Amsterdam just being a hop across the channel and people go there for a feel-good time.
Yes.
You just immediately associate Dutch with like, hey, come on, have a coffee. Let's go to a coffee house. It's going to be super. We're going to get high.
That's an accent.
Yeah. That's Dutch. Yeah, like that? All right. Man of one voice, they call me.
I'm kidding.
Let's have a smoke. Relax.
It's a good city. I like that city.
But enough about the Dutch. Holly Golightly, a role that she said was her most challenging to date. And indeed, one scene in particular, she said, the most distasteful she ever had to shoot, which was dumping Cat out of the window.
Yeah.
This ought to be the right kind of place for a tough guy like you. Garbage cans, rats galore. Scram! I said take off. Beat it.
Brutal scene, actually.
It is.
Really, it really gets you.
I quite like the little sort of nuance of just calling the cat. Cat.
Yeah. You know, my friend Rachel, she calls her cat. And I met Rachel when I was 20, and she didn't bother to tell me that it was from that. Just like it was her idea, and I thought she was really cool, and I didn't put the two together, and now I realize.
It's an amazing film, but there's one character in it that some people sort of think, actually, that wouldn't work today. At the time, not offensive, now offensive.
Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney as Mr. Unioshi.
Not so PC anymore, is it?
It's weird. Even Blake Edwards, the director, has sort of since gone. It's the only part of it that I'm not happy with.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and it was due an outdoor screening in the States. The film was due to be screened outdoors, and it had to be pulled because people said it's too offensive to do a big outdoor screening. And what I find amusing is the movie they got in to replace Breakfast at Tiffany's was Ratatouille.
Oh no!
You just kind of go, at what point is Ratatouille a stand-in in awkward...
For Breakfast at Tiffany's? Yeah, no.
I mean, great movie, but you know, go...
Doesn't compare.
OK, that is it for part one of the guest list, but join me in part two when I'm going to be talking more about some of Neve Campbell's favourite films. I'll see you in a moment.